Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about the Indiana Fever's exciting win over the Dallas Wings, 100-93. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit that notification bell when you do. If you like Caitlin Clark, subscribe. If you like the Indiana Fever, subscribe. If you like Rob, subscribe. Just subscribe. That's what we're all asking. We're going for 4,000. We need your help. So we recorded a couple videos yesterday before the game, Rob, about Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark being a dynamic duo and the best guard tandem in the league, and that Caitlin Clark is the best guard in the league. And then they went out and proved us right by playing even better at 4 o'clock. The videos went out yesterday.
Right. I was like, oh wow, okay.
So it was pretty good timing, and I every time Caitlin Clark continues to have a great game and doesn't play awful or something like that, people can convince me more and more that she's the best player in the league or the MVP. I'm still holding off on that, but I am saying she's the best guard in the league, and they're the best guard tandem in the league. And yesterday, I think I said Kelsey Mitchell's a top 10 guard in the league. I meant top 10 player in the league. And I think she is a top 10 player in the league right now also.
Definitely.
And, since the Olympic break, she might be a top 5 player in the league, right? Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark both. Yeah. And that's why they're winning, because they have 2 players that have played, in the top 5. Nafisa Collier, obviously, and Asia Wilson continue to play well. But they're certainly up there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good sign for them, because in the playoffs, they're going to need that. But I think they're on a roll, Rob. And as we were saying, they're dangerous.
Yeah, they're playing great. Mark, I don't feel well. You know why I don't feel well? Because I got a fever. That's why.
Oh, Rob's starting to get behind the team now. Finally.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for great basketball. That was a good basketball game between both teams. Both of them played very hard, and it was an exciting game. Well played. So it was good. It's a very nicely done WNBA game.
Mitchell's defense has improved, but I would have liked to seen her at least contain Enrique more. I mean, 9 threes is a lot. Sometimes she went under the screen when she should have gone over the screen. When you're dealing with a 3-point shooter, that's what she should do. But she did put more effort into it the last 3 or 4 games on defense, and she put more effort into playing team ball, and that's why she's playing one of the top 5 players in the league right now, because she's not doing hero ball.
Mark, I think you're turning into a coach here. That was a very astute observation with the defense.
Thank you, Rob. You're rubbing off on me.
I hope so. And you rubbed off on me to be objective about things, which helps. But I mean, she kept going under the screens, which you can't do with a 3-point shooter. You got to fight over the top of it.
Right. You want to do that with someone who drives to the basket, right?
Right.
It was a back and forth game. They put up a stat where like so many ties and so many lead changes and so. There's a lot. I forget what the numbers were, but it just shows you the game was back and forth. And I kept getting this weird feeling that the Fever were going to lose. And then I forgot that Mitchell and Clark are the best duo in the league right now, and they took over in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they did.
And other people made some plays too. Even Boston made some good plays in the 4th quarter, some baskets. Let's go over some stats. So first thing I want to talk about is playing time. Clark played 37 minutes and Mitchell played 37 minutes, and Wheeler played 6. Now, Wheeler should play exactly 6 minutes, like I said before, and Clark should play 34, and she should just come in for Clark. The first 3 minutes of the 2nd quarter and the first 3 minutes of the 4th quarter. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't think Christy Sides watches her videos enough, Rob.
No.
But that's what she should do, because that's what they do with star players. That was a formula they had from Michael Jordan that worked out great. You get that extra 4-minute break between quarters, so you get a longer rest. And you don't want them in the court at the same time, because it just doesn't work. And also, you don't need that much playing time for Wheeler. But, Rob, we were critical of her starting Wallace, but, again, we never said don't play Wallace.
Yeah.
If they're going to be a running team, you've got to give people breaks so they have enough energy to do it. Play Wallace 6 minutes and play Mitchell 34. That solves the solution. I mean, it's so simple. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't know what to say. Why she can't figure that out is beyond me.
well,
Or
she's looking out that Mitchell has a lot of energy and is in shape. So
right, but 37 minutes, you
it's
start to
still,
lose your legs and you don't shoot as well. You don't play. You kind of cheat a little bit on defense. You're going to be
right.
tired at the end of the year for the playoffs. Now they do have a shorter season than in NBA, but still, that's too many minutes. I think I'd be
Yeah,
concerned about that.
yeah,
Uh, so, anyways, let's go over some stats. Clark again, 10 for 19, 5 for 11. And one of that threes, the shot clock was winding down. She just kind of heaved it up there. And one was a heat check. So her 3-point shot was actually on last night. And she had a
yeah.
couple logo threes. 3 for 4 from the free throw line. She actually missed a free throw. Oh my God.
I know. The world's
She's
coming to an end.
her and Mitchell have been shooting over 90% at the free throw since the break. She also had 4 rebounds, 12 assists, and she should have had around 16. She had a
Yeah,
steal, 7 turnovers. We can live with it. And she had 28 points and 2 amazing length of the court passes. One to Mitchell, who did a behind the back pass. I guess it was to Smith, right? And
right.
that was the best play of the game.
Yeah, that was really exciting.
So then she also had a length of court pass to Mitchell, and they were just unbelievable passes, just unbelievable, Rob.
Well, that's what I mean, Mark. When she gets that ball, and Mitchell just knows it. That's what I mean. Now it's just like, okay, she gets a rebound, go. And Mitchell's one of the fastest players in the league. And so Clark can just look up the floor, and she's going to beat everybody down the floor. And she has enough strength and power. Like I said, reminds me of Wes Unstilled, who was a center, who was like one of the smallest centers, but he had that outlet. And that's
Right.
what she's been doing, which is really cool.
And Mitchell may be the fastest person in the league. I mean, I know Kennedy Carter has a great first step, very quick first step, but overall speed, she seems to be as fast as anyone. So, anyway, so Mitchell obviously had a great game. She shot great, as she has recently, 12 for 22, 5 for 7, 7 for 8 at the free throw line. She had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, and 36 points, which is a career high for her.
Right.
So that was great. And Smith actually played pretty well, Rob.
Yeah, she played well. She played much better. She had 8 rebounds, and she was playing fairly good defense there. Yeah.
Rob, yeah, she had 2 steals and 3 blocks.
Yep.
That's huge for her. And she was 7 for 12, and she had 14 points, and she hustled more in defense. She seemed to be, lacked. What was the word? I mean, her mentally, she was gone. What's the word I want to use?
More engaged, or
Checked out.
oh,
She seemed to have checked out like 4 or 5 games ago, but she's been back the last 3 or 4 games and has played pretty well, I would say. Boston only had 7 points and 8 rebounds, but she got in some foul trouble. She had 5 personal fouls and was 3 for 6.
right.
She hasn't played that great lately, but she found ways to contribute, and she made a nice pass and everything like that. Hall, again, it doesn't all show up in the box score with her, but she did do the little things again. She was 2 for 4 and had 6 points, but Rob, she had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks, only 1 turnover.
Right.
You can tell how the little things add up with her, Rob.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to score, 20 or 10 points. Is what you do on the court while you're on there.
Right. And Timmy Bentley continues to struggle since she came back from the injury. You can tell that she doesn't have confidence in her shot and that her hand's not 100%. She's still got tape on it. She's missing easy layups and stuff, but her defense is still great. And she gets the hustle plays, like 3 rebounds in 9 minutes type of thing. But we need her at full strength for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to need her. I think she'll. I mean, after that, Mark, after injury, you're kind of still feeling it out. You can't. You don't really jump back in because you're still thinking about it. Especially if you're looking at it. It's taped. You're looking at it, and you're still worried about it. It still bothers you. So eventually, she'll just get out of her head and just start playing the way she's been playing before.
Right. And Samuelson 8 minutes and didn't get anything but an assist and a turnover during that time period. And Wheeler, again, she was only in for 6 minutes and didn't do anything but get a turnover. So they got very little help from the bench, and they still won the game. Dantas, though, actually played well. and she gave Boston a break. And I will say she's got a nice touch on her shot, even though she had 7 points, but she just had a nice touch on her shot. And she had 3 steals and a block and 4 rebounds in just 17 minutes. So she did contribute.
Yeah, she looked. She didn't force her shots like she did last game. It was if she was open, she would like shoot it. But if she wasn't, she's getting better trying to set the screen. She's not very agile, but neither is Boston that great. But she's got to learn how to roll on those screens and pick and rolls.
Yeah, Dantas is not good at the pick and rolls with Clark. She's afraid to set a screen half the time. It's like she doesn't really mean it when she does it.
Yeah, she just goes out a second. She goes out, set screen, and then if it doesn't happen, she goes, oh, okay, I gotta go.
But she plays good defense and she stretches the floor. I got mixed feelings in terms of her meshing with Clark because she has the advantage of stretching the floor, which opens up the post for, say, Boston. But when Smith and Boston are in there together, they both do the same thing. So the post gets crowded, and neither one of them can stretch the floor with 3-point shots. Right. So you're going to have a different variance there with each of them. But they, Smith and Boston can run the floor better than Dantas. Dantas is too slow. But she adds other things to it. And it's good to have some depth at that position because she can replace either one of them. She could play forward and or center. So she's a good addition, even though she's slow.
She does. Everybody has a different role. When you're coaching, you have a role. Like, this is what you do. This is what you do. And that's what she does. She's not speedy, but she can get rebounds, have her play defense. And she has a nice little mid-range shot right there in the free throw line, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. So for once, the refs were not as noticeable.
Yeah, you didn't.
In other words, they weren't as bad as they normally. I didn't really have any major complaints with the refs. I thought it was a well officiated game. I was almost in shock at the end of the game when I realized I wasn't talking about the refs at all during the
exactly.
Stream. So why? I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe they got him from the NBA. I have no idea. But it seemed to be fair. Of course, they missed some things, but still, it seemed to be better than it normally was. A lot better than the game before that.
Well, I think it was the flow of the game. Both teams were like, they're both. It was both teams had a nice little pace to their game, so it's kind of hard for them to really make a foul when the pace is like that. So leaves them, when they get that half court stuff, that's when they get kind of.
And while I don't agree with Christy Side's rotation, which the things I just went over, she seems to be staying out of the way now for 4 straight games. And guess what? Guess what, Rob? How many games have they won in a row?
I know. 4.
She's not micromanaging every time they come down the court and telling them what to do. I guess she finally realized Caitlin Clark knows what she's doing. Caitlin Clark is smart. I got a coach out on the court. Maybe I should just back off as long as they're playing well and winning. I think that's what she figured out. I could be wrong, but you get the same feeling, Rob, as a coach.
No, that's what I said. I've noticed that. That's what I noticed. I'm like, oh yeah, because she's staying out of the way. I mean, she isn't as demonstrative or excited on the court anymore. So she's out there coaching.
Although you still think she needs to get in the refs' ears more.
Yeah, I think she still needs to get a little bit more into the refs and don't be afraid to tell them something. Because I got a technical foul for telling the ref, and I asked the ref why, and he says, "You're trying to influence me."
Well, that's your job.
That's my job, of course. Why you give me a technical foul? That's what I'm supposed to do.
Well, Ryder Auerbach seemed to have started that more than anyone, and it worked for them. That's why they got all those championships.
I mean, they're human. I mean, it's weird. You can get into when you're coaching and the referee makes a good call, even if it's against your team. If you say that was a good call, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, and they might believe me. They're like, oh, okay, he's okay. He's not gonna be against me, and then you might be getting the calls.
We knew Enrique would be a problem if she got hot, and she got hot.
Yeah, she did.
I think Mitchell was trying. I just think Enrique is very hard to stop when she gets on a roll. She can create her own shots, and she can hit any basic shot that she wants, Rob. She can drive to the basket. She has a pull-up jumper. She has a 3. She's one of the few WNBA players who have real skills in terms of offensively. So she was 12 for 25 and 9 for 16, but she was 9 for 14. She missed her last 2 shots at the end of the fourth quarter. But she's an all-around player, Rob. She had 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and she only had 2 turnovers, and she handles the ball a lot.
Well, we saw that in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I know.
This is
Some
like
people,
this is like feed her the ball. And okay, that's why
I mean,
she got the.
some commentators said, she can easily lose a game for you too when she gets cold, which is true. But I think she's more often going to win you a game.
I was going to say I'll take my chances with her shooting the ball.
Right, and it looks like Lexi Hall was on Sabalia a lot of times, and she really contained her in the first half. But then Sabalia got going in the second half. She ended up with 25 points and 6 for 16, 4 for 9. And if you don't know, she was first team All-Pro last year. She just missed the first part of the season because she was playing for Germany in the Olympics. And so that's why. But she's a very good player. But they have a good team. They got Howard, scored 18 points for him. Yeah. JC Sheldon played good defense on Clark. Now, they played against each other in the Big Ten in college. And she's a rookie. She's not much of an offensive threat, but she did get 8 points. But she played all 37 minutes that Clark played. She basically covered a full court the entire game, and I thought she was pesky on Clark. As Temi gets back into shape and fully comes back from her injury, and Samuelson comes back from her illness because she seemed lethargic yesterday. I think they'll have enough depth. And if she plays Wallace for 6 minutes, like I'm recommending, I think they'll be okay with depth. But it is a concern, Rob. They might not have as much depth as other teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But Mark, they're playing fantastic basketball. I have to say, I'm getting to the point now when I get to that third quarter, I'm not sitting there like, they're gonna, and here they come.
Well, they started out slow in the third quarter again, Rob. I don't know what Christie's side says at halftime, but it seems to be counterproductive because they always come out poorly in the beginning of the third quarter, and I can't figure out why. People can say, okay, it's halftime adjustments. It's more than that. It's like, do you have them mentally prepared to go out there in the second half and play like it's the beginning of the game again, where you got to come out with high energy? And I don't think they do, and I don't know why. It's partly on the player, obviously, but the coach has to get them ready for the third quarter, so they're going to lose playoff games.
Yeah, if they don't come out in the third quarter, they keep coming out flat. That's not gonna happen.
Go watch when they play the best teams in the league, how well they come out in the third quarter. So, especially against the Fever.
Yeah, but like we said, they're a young team. They're starting to get used to each other, and it looks like I said, they're having fun. You can see on the bench, when they score, they're jumping up and down, and they're just having a lot of fun, playing the game, which I like.
Well, this is the first time they've been above 500 in a long time. So they are actually up a game against Phoenix right now. Mm-hmm. And it's actually more than that. It's more like a game and a half because they have a tiebreaker.
Right.
So they're up there. And so who knows what can happen in terms of the playoffs. There's only 7 games left, though. Not many games left to catch up. The more they win, the more people are going to talk about Caitlin Clark being an MVP. Right now, she is clearly an MVP candidate. And anybody who doesn't think so knows nothing about basketball or is insane or delusional or just not being honest. This is not close. Nancy Lieberman, she's no reason to be biased one way or another.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
She put her in the top 5. And other people are doing that too. And so if you're still trying, because you're such a small, insecure person, you're still hating on Caitlin Clark and think everyone else is delusional. No, you're the delusional one. She is top 5 candidate for MVP. I have her 3rd right now, Rob. And I think she's probably the 3rd best player in the league, maybe the 4th best player in the league. MVP-wise, I have her 3rd. In terms of playing ability, I have her pretty much up there with Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, and her. So top 4 player and a top 3 MVP candidate. I think that's fair and objective, and I don't think that's over the top. Caitlin Clark fans think she's number 1 in both. I'm not quite willing to go there yet, but it's happening. It's happening. She will be the best player. She will be the MVP at some point, probably next year, if not this year. And both of those things, I think both of those things will happen next year. She'll be the best player in the league, and she'll be MVP, and it will be her league. As much as they're fighting and scratching and trying to hold her down, Rob, it's going to happen. So just accept it.
Yep. Yeah. So sit back and enjoy the show. And
right. And yeah. Why are you missing out enjoying on a unique, exciting generational athlete. I could never understand the Michael Jordan haters. I understand you're rooting against him because he didn't play for your team, but you could still enjoy how exciting he is to watch. So
Right.
to not enjoy that part of his game, who's I maintain is the most exciting athlete in the history of sports, you're missing out on a lot. Continue to hate.
Right.
I don't care. It doesn't affect my everyday life. I'm having fun watching Caitlin Clark turn into the greatest player in WNBA history because that's what I think is going to happen.
Right. So yeah. So we'll see what happens these next games. We'll see what happens, and they can keep this streak going. They have a lot of home games left, don't they? The rest of their games are home games.
They have one away game left out of 7. They have 6 home games, Rob. They play the Aces twice at home, and that's the only team they haven't beaten. So that's the key, Rob, because they may meet them in the playoffs. They won't meet them in the first round, it looks like. They could meet them in the finals.
Yep.
If they do something in the playoffs. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying it'd be nice to have a win against them so that no matter who they play in the playoffs, they know they can beat the team they're up against.
Right.
As a coach, you would know, right? That's important, Rob, right?
Right. Well, that's how they're playing. They're playing with no fear.
Right.
They're playing no fear. Teams are trying to beat them. This is their Super Bowl. This is their playoff game when they play the Fever.
And I thought their defense was better again. Once in a while, someone's open for a 3-point shot that drives me crazy when it was just lazy defense or they gave them too much room. And then I don't know what they're thinking, Rob. Okay, I'll have time to close in on them. No, that's not enough.
No.
It's a slight distraction, as Rob will tell you, to put your hand up and approach the 3-point shooter. But it's not as much a distraction if you started 3 feet closer than that and then closed in and put your hand up. You can't do that. You've got to get on them more. You can't open up that. Women, the one thing that women can do in the WNBA is hit 3-point shots when they're open. They can't hit layups when they're open, but they can hit the 3-point shot.
Yeah, exactly. I know they can't make a layup to save their lives. It's like, oh gosh.
That's a
brutal.
Topic for another
brutal.
video.
It's so brutal. It's like
yes, and yes, the Fever missed 8. The Wings missed a bunch of layups too, Rob.
Yeah.
So it kind of evened out, and a couple were on like fast breaks. They missed their wide open.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to stop. It's got to stop for the WNBA. Want to be, a more popular league because that's frustrating people.
Make them all run a lap, Mark. Make them all run a lap. Run a lap.
All right, Rob, you better go to their practices and tell them to run a lap, do push-ups, whatever. But make those layups. Darn it! It's driving us crazy. It's everybody. It's driving everybody crazy. Every fan in the world is driving crazy. So stop it. Practice the layup and do something.
Just stop it.
Join us live. Rob and I will both be there. Wednesday night's their next game. It's at 7 o'clock against the Los Angeles Sparks, and it's on CBS Sports Network. Our normal live show is every Monday, but we're not going to do it tonight, which is Labor Day because it's a major holiday. We will start up again on September 9th at 6 to 8 Eastern Time, and you can call in for that show. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, why not? Why are you making Rob angry? If you like the fact that Fever hit 4 straight, subscribe. If you like Caitlin Clark, subscribe. Just subscribe. It's very easy. Just hit that button. Hit the notification bell so you get notified of our next videos. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below. And also, there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you on the next video.
Peace out.